In a retirement span, peace of mind, adequate mediclaim,
right policy,
the claim process smoothly and happening, right? So उसको worry नहीं रहना चाहिए.
Health is wealth. So let's say I have diabetes and I want an major coverage around diabetes. I can go ahead with and choose a diabetes policy. So usually a health insurance policy comes with lot of terms and conditions.
correct,
कि रूम रेंट में इतना मिलेगा, फलानी बीमारी का इतना ही
17,
मिलेगा.
18 pages of the conditions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think कि कोई advisor और client और even the medical जो company बेच रहे हैं वो इसको decode कर पाए.
Bima Garage is that first KYP. Know your policy. There's a lot of gap in this. When I buy a policy, a life insurance or a health insurance, I am not even aware what I bought. In life insurance, it's a larger product and you pay it longer time and you have a lot of things. But in health insurance, you don't know what you bought because there are a lot of deductions which happens at the time of claim process.
Absolutely.
Now, what will happen when you know your policy through this app? One thing which will come out is that have you bought the right policy or not?
People come up with a preconceived notion or have a perception कि अभी मुझे हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की
नहीं
जरूरत
चाहिए.
नहीं क्योंकि मैं फिट हूँ. बट आपको तभी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की जरूरत है जब आप फिट हो, बिकॉज तभी मिलेगा. जैसे ही आप अनफिट हो जाते हो आपको हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस
कोई नहीं
मिलेगा
देगा.
नहीं. लेट्स से 5 to 10 lakh rupee coverage of
The
base
base sum
policy,
assured, yes.
which will cost you, let's say at the age of 45 would cost you about 30 to 35,000 rupees. That is one way to cover yourself. However, this does not meet the inflation or the pricing of, let's say, cardiovascular diseases or cancer treatments. However, there are chances of being diagnosed with those diseases in near future. So you can always have a super top of policy on
yes.
top of your base policy. Hospital is unaware about the product. They are learning on their own.
Correct.
It is their own journey, right? This is
Yes.
where we at Bima Garage have built a system in a manner like we've spoken about KYP. So we first make the hospital understand what is payable in the policy, what is not payable in the
Okay.
policy.
Welcome back to the subject of retirement and the man behind the show, Mr. Girish Patel. We have a very special guest now who has a wealthy experience in health insurance. Uh, Welcome, Ms. Jayaji.
Thank
And
you.
Jayaji holds a rich experience in corporate life, worked extensively in health insurance companies, and she's from past 7 years. She's a co-founder of Bima Garage, which basically Bima Garage is into claim management system, and it's a very budding company, and they put in a lot of hard work to make life easy for hospitals and also for the customers who patients who are coming in. They're going to be the company for the next decade, and all the ingredients, the kind of innovation they are doing, Bima Garage is doing, which is going to help a lot of hospitals as to manage their claims in a better way and their cash flows in a better way. I think no other better person can explain about what they're doing is Jayaji. Jayaji, one of the reasons why we have chosen you as our guest and also a co-host, and you can interact with Girishji in a course of time, is that one of the primary aspects of any retirement life is health.
Right.
Now, if you look at, we were discussing when we are having a casual conversation over the coffee and tea, is that only 18% of senior citizens are covered under it.
Yeah.
And if you look at by 2050, the kitty of senior citizens is only going to increase. It's going to be 50 crores. 2050, 36 crores of people are going to get into after 60 years of age. As a retirement as a product, where do you see health insurance as a product and how important it is? And you worked in a lot of product innovations, product team, claim management. You've seen sales as a part and operations. Where do you see health insurance as a product, and why is it so important for any person who's looking at retirement as a kitty, and how effectively a health insurance policy can be made to save their kitty and corpus?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Niranjan ji.
Yeah,
Thank you, Girish bhai, for giving me this opportunity to be present here and talk about this favorite topic of mine, wherein there's a whole saying we all have heard this, that health is wealth.
Correct.
adding a spice to it, I think today's age we can say that health is wealth, and you need health insurance to protect that
Absolutely.
wealth. I think that is how I would place health insurance when it comes to retirement. On the other hand, government is doing a lot of activities and trying to pull this bracket that you said, that next generation or next 20 years down the line, people are going to move into the retirement
Absolutely.
age, and government is doing a lot of other
Activities,
activities
yes.
like launching policies, and there's a data around it.
Correct.
So you would have heard there was a report published by IRDA on missing middle. This missing middle basically is the group of people who do not fall under the category of buying a Ayushman Bharat
Bharat, yes,
policy,
absolutely.
and also do not afford such high premiums to buy a full-fledged
Leisure insurance policy.
insurance
Yeah.
policy. So that's when Arogya Sanjeevani came into picture. So there are a lot of things that government is also trying to do to cover this missing middle, and
Correct.
I would directly relate this missing middle to the retirement, that
Absolutely.
people, category of people who are gonna fall into retirement age in next 15
Yeah,
to 20
absolutely.
years.
Correct.
Um, Talking about the financials, in India, I think we do not plan for emergencies, honestly. Emergencies rather plan for us, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is where I think health insurance will play a major role. And to conclude your question, I would place health insurance to protect your wealth.
Well,
That is how I would place
so
it.
Giriji was speaking about, you were talking about social security.
Ji.
In the Western world, the social security, the first aspect is your health insurance,
Yeah.
and second is your pension. These are the
Right.
two aspects where government takes a lot of, government also contributes. They take a lot of contribution from the taxes and make a better policy, a public health policy or a public retirement policy to make their citizens live healthier and happier.
Yeah.
So, your take on health insurance as a product?
So I have some different thoughts, right? So global, they are very good at healthcare,
Correct.
but there they have another problems. So taking an appointment, the cost of the health, the cost of the premium is very high,
Correct.
and I don't think the people are वो affordable नहीं है. That is one part. So global में दो part है. एक, they are very good at healthcare, but to reach out to the medical appointment and the cost and the premium is too high. That is one part. The India have a different problem. India have a different problem is like Jaya says कि the missing middle, that is one issue. And जो लोग हेल्थ कवर में हैं उनका एक अलग प्रॉब्लम है. उनका प्रॉब्लम है कि वो मेडिकल पॉलिसी के जो क्लेम सर्विस हैं उसमें भी आज बहुत सारे गैप्स हैं.
Correct.
सो जो टीपीए पहले हुआ करते थे, या इन हाउस क्लेम हाउसेस है, या क्लाइंट का अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, हॉस्पिटल का अंडरस्टैंडिंग में, दैट्स अ बिग गैप where the Jaya's company role play there.
Yes.
So that I mention in my podcast. And मुझे लगता है कि कोई आदमी रिटायर हो रहा है, उसने एडिक्वेट हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लिया है, उसको हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन होने के टाइम पे कोई माइंड में पेन नहीं होना चाहिए,
Correct.
क्योंकि उसका फोकस है रिकवरी. अब
Absolutely.
उसको फिनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम या उसका मेडिकल पॉलिसी, उसका क्लेम सर्विस बेटर मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, वो पेन के साथ वो रिटायरमेंट में कैसे हैप्पी रह सकता है. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो ए बिगेस्ट कंसर्न. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई वांट टू कवर कि हेल्थ कवर प्लस द हेल्थ मेडिक्लेम पॉलिसी सर्विसेज, उसमें भी उसको एक ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस मिले जो हैपनिंग हो, राइट. उनको ऐसा कभी नहीं लगना चाहिए कि मेडिकल पॉलिसी का सर्विसेज मुझे वो एट वन डोर मिलेगा.
Absolutely.
So I love this concept of Bima Garage, right? I know the people very very closely, right?
Correct.
So I love this concept. तो मुझे लगता है कि सीनियर से हर इंश्योरेंस कंपनी को वो इन हाउस क्लेम के साथ एडिशनल बीमा गैरेज का भी सर्विस देना चाहिए.
Absolutely.
सो वो उस लेवल पे जाना चाहिए. अगर वो नहीं दे रहे, they are offering to the hospitals, and now they are offering to the
retail
individual
customers.
client also,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yes.
So मेरा जो सोचने का जो प्रोस्पेक्टिव है वो है कि जब आदमी रिटायर हो, एक तो पहले वो एडिकेट हेल्थ रखे. एम्प्लॉय का और अलग प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि जब जैसे वो उसको रिटायर होता है उसके बाद उसको इंडिविजुअल पॉलिसी लेने में बहुत दिक्कत आती है, क्योंकि एज के हिसाब से प्रीमियम और सारी चीजें. इंडिया इज लकी इनफ कि यहाँ मेडिकल अपॉइंटमेंट का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट? इफ यू हैव ए मनी, विद इन 10 मिनट्स आप डॉक्टर अटेंड करेगा आपको,
Availability is not
फैसिलिटी
issue.
का प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
Facility and
So
availability.
we are so lucky compared to the west world, right?
Absolutely.
और हमारे जो दो प्रॉब्लम है, एक द मेडिकल हेल्थ पॉलिसी का जो एडिकेट होना चाहिए, उसका अवेयरनेस होना चाहिए, एंड सेकंड पार्ट द सर्विसिंग ऑफ द मेडिकल में जो आज तक डिससेटिस्फेक्शन लोगों को रहा है, उसको कोई एड्रेस करे.
Correct.
सो ये दोनों चीज साथ में अगर मिलके आ रही है, तो मेडिकल अपना रिटायरमेंट पार्ट में जो एक एक जो बिगेस्ट वरी होता है, हेल्थ केयर एंड हेल्थ मेडिकल सर्विसेज, इसको अगर एड्रेस किया जाए तो हम जो हैप्पी रिटायरमेंट लाइफ चाहते हैं ना, वो हो जाएगा. सो दैट्स
Yeah.
माय बिलीफ हियर.
Yeah, so to add one point है निरंजन जी, which Girish भाई clearly mentioned, कि peace of mind होना चाहिए सर्विस को लेके. So just to give you one example, हमने we have a product by the name of HobNob, or customer can download that application.
So
and
you
then
can you can see the below link which we are giving it now. You can click on that and you can download that app, which she will explain you the benefits of having
Right.
downloading that app. So Jaya ji is all yours.
So,
Yeah.
you can call us for the service. When you download the application, our representative would call you. And we did that in COVID. There were a lot of senior citizens who couldn't go out of their homes to submit the files. I would, there are so many testimonies that we have of
Yes.
happy elderly people जिनके हमने क्लेम प्रोसेस करवाए, सेटल कराए, उनके बच्चे यूएस यूके में रहते हैं. ऑलरेडी एक प्रॉब्लम थी कि कोविड की वजह से हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन था, फिर उसके बाद जो क्लेम, बिकॉज कैशलेस वाज नॉट फुल फ्लेजेड during
Correct.
those times, and that is where what we did was we picked up the file from their homes, we submitted the files to the insurance companies and got their claims settled.
Correct.
So basically this is what we do at HobNob. Our agenda is to make sure that customer understands every detail of the policy. So if you download the application and upload your insurance policy, I'll decode that policy, and we call this as KYP, know your policy.
So in the below link, they go to Play Store
Yeah,
and they
or,
download
yes.
HobNob. The app will come.
Yeah.
They will put their
They can
detail-
upload their health insurance
health insurance. First
policy.
page is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the-
they can upload the entire policy, and what we do is we decode the policy,
Okay.
which will talk about what are the terms and conditions. See, usually a health insurance policy comes with lot of terms and conditions.
Correct.
कि रूम रेंट में इतना मिलेगा, फलानी बीमारी का इतना ही
17,
मिलेगा.
18 pages of the conditions.
Yeah.
Yes. We
I
don't
don't
even look
think कि
at-
कोई एडवाइजर
कोई भी
और
नहीं
क्लाइंट और इवन दी मेडिकल जो
So
कंपनी
true.
बेच रहे हैं, वो इसको डिकोड कर पाएंगे.
Absolutely.
So the expertise of decoding the policy, that's a USP of the
Yes,
Bangladesh.
and that's free of cost.
Free
by
of
the
cost. So
way.
you just
So
need to go to Play Store,
download
download the app,
application.
put your policy document into it.
Yes.
You guys will come out with a single pager.
One pager,
One pager,
yes,
yeah,
which they can view it there itself. This is helpful at the time of cashless. If you go at the hospital, you aware, you know which room you can take, whether this treatment is payable or not, or if there's any pre-existing, then what is the waiting period. So
Okay.
all the details are there. At the time of cashless, even if I am not associated with that hospital, you can call my toll-free number. We can help you sail through the cashless very
Okay.
seamlessly, right? So that is one thing that I offer through that app. Again, that is absolutely free of cost,
course,
cashless assistance. For reimbursement, there's a fixed cost that we charge.
Yeah.
That is also, we send we send our executive to your place. We make sure that your file is complete, and then we dispatch that file to the insurance company at our cost, and follow it up with the insurance company for the claim settlement.
Okay. So the role of a Bima garage is that first KYP, know
Yeah.
your policy.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of gap in this. When I buy a policy, a life insurance or a health insurance, I am not even aware what I bought.
Yeah.
This is the
absolutely.
first.
That's the first problem.
The
Yeah.
first problem. In life insurance, it's a larger product and you pay it longer time and you have a lot of things. But in health insurance, you don't know what you bought because there are a lot of deductions which happens at the time of claim process.
Absolutely.
Now, what will happen when you know your policy through this app? One thing which will come out is that have you bought the right policy or not? Is the
Yeah.
first answer you'll get.
Yeah.
If you have not bought the right policy, then you have two choices. One is you either buy a new policy again, or wait for the time and port to a new
Yeah.
policy where which is offering a great product offer.
Right.
So that's a great thing which Bima Garage is doing. You guys should download this
So
app.
just one more, advisory to everybody who's listening to us, and in case you feel that the policy that you have is not appropriate or not sufficient, and you want to port it, then the timeline for porting the policy is 45 days before the renewal. If
Correct.
you miss that time, then there are chances that if you go into the grace period, then the disease that is diagnosed during the grace period will not be covered. So if you want the benefits to be carry forward, then of course you should go ahead and port your policy at least 45 days before the renewal.
So we will come to one of the primary reasons. We will break it down to three people.
Hmm.
A guy who's 25 to 30 years old who just started his job. Now a lot of people say early you start saving, you'll find a bit greater corpus. Early you start getting into health insurance, also you'll get a policy at a very
Yeah.
better price. So what are the things when somebody is taking a policy at any point of stage?
Mhm.
What are the 3 or 5 things which an individual should look at in his policy that should mandatorily be there in the policy?
Perfect. So the primary thing that you should look at, see, the reason why you've bought the policy, nobody wants to claim, but ultimate reason of buying the
Which
policy
is
is that if there is a claim, then what would you do, right? So the primary reason of buying the policy should be, or the the important thing that you should look into the policy is lower out of pocket expenses, which means there should be no room rent limit, there should be no co-payment, there should be lower deductibles if at all you're
correct.
choosing a deductible policy, right? So that is one basic thing that you should look at.
Yeah.
Second most important thing, and that's the reason why the insurance company is also suffering, which is people not disclosing their illnesses,
Absolutely.
right? So that is the most important thing that you should look at. Today you do not disclose a pre-existing, tomorrow there's a claim, you're trying to hide things. There are a lot of frauds that insurance companies go through,
Correct.
right? Lastly, I was going through an article that insurance companies suffered 10,000 crore rupees of loss because of fraud claims, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately what happens if there is a fraud claim? Who's suffering? You are suffering because your premiums are increasing next year,
And there's a
right?
higher chance of getting claim not getting
Absolutely,
settled.
absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
So that's the second important thing. Of course, the third important thing is looking at the cashless number of cashless hospital that the insurance company has or is associated with. So that's a third important thing. Last but not the least, you should also take a look at what are the settlement ratios of the insurance
Company.
company,
Yes.
which is the company who gives you faster cashless approvals or earlier reimbursement settlements.
So there is a strict no if an agent comes, sir, you have a BP, you have a sugar, but sugar बोल दो, BP को छुपा दो, आपको एक call आएगा, you will get one call and tell them that no, it's not there. So these are the guidance. Some are
Absolute
so
no,
these things.
yeah. For sure, no.
You-
See, having worked with insurance companies for
and
17 years,
absolutely.
I think, they are very genuine in paying a genuine claim.
Claim.
They
You're
wouldn't
right.
reject a claim which is genuine, right?
Yes.
So if you've declared, there is no reason why. There's a waiting period for BP,
That
right?
yes,
If an
absolutely.
agent explains you really well, if an advisor, I mean, there's a difference between an agent and an advisor. That's why I prefer going to an advisor who
yeah.
can give me a right advice.
हाँ.
कि बॉस डिक्लेयर करो, वेटिंग पीरियड है, कोई
2
बात
साल
नहीं,
है,
3 साल के बाद आपको
हाँ,
कवर मिलेगा, बट एटलीस्ट मिलेगा.
हाँ.
You will not be in loss of the premium as well as being a fraudulent customer.
So it is not like that I taken a health insurance policy and I'll start drinking every day. So it is not
Do
like
that at your own risk. But I'll say
no,
one
I'm saying
thing.
it is not like that. Yeah,
So I'll say one thing, you get health insurance when you're healthy.
correct.
People come up with a preconceived notion और हैव अ परसेप्शन कि अभी मुझे हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की
नहीं
जरूरत
चाहिए.
नहीं क्योंकि मैं फिट हूँ. बट आपको तभी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की जरूरत है जब आप फिट हो, बिकॉज तभी मिलेगा. जैसे ही आप अनफिट हो जाते हो, आपको हेल्थ
कोई
इंश्योरेंस
नहीं
मिलेगा
देगा.
नहीं.
हाँ, absolutely, you're right. You're right.
Right?
So the second reason why health insurance plays an important role in an individual, especially after 60 years of age, is while we are talking, Girish bhai spoke about since morning with different guests, various guests, is that it is very important to create a corpus. There are two things which can disturb that corpus. Is one is there's a major health reason, and then second reason is there's a disturbance in family, or any kind of a financial loss by in a business or something. Now it is very important that your health insurance policy, what is the value you are taking. Now today if you look at the inflation and the medical cost increasing,
Right.
the longevity of you surviving is very high.
Yeah.
So what is the ideal sum assured? Like if I say 5 lakhs is not enough, 10 lakhs is not enough. Now the people are moving abroad. Now there are a lot of products which cover, you go to abroad also your medical
Yeah.
insurance is covered. So what is your view on that ideal coverage, and why should they start investing early so that their health insurance is adequate?
Right. So, talking about, so there are two questions in this one
Absolutely.
question, which is, one is, what is the educate sum insured for me, and two is, of course, can I afford it as well, because
Absolutely.
if my life expectancy is gonna high and health insurance is the every year premium, then would I be able to pay that premium? मैं आज शायद कमा रही हूँ तो मैं ज़्यादा प्रीमियम पे कर
Absolutely.
सकती हूँ, but maybe once I'm not earning regularly, then I might not be able to pay that much of
Correct.
premium. So one can choose to have a layered coverage.
Yes.
What do I mean by layered coverage? While that sounds very technical, but then there are experts who can manage that for you. And I think involving an expert in health insurance is always
Very
helpful,
ideal. Yes.
right? So, like I mentioned, that advisors are very important. So,
Absolutely.
when I say layered coverage, talking about, let's say, 60 years and above, you have Ayushman Bharat schemes in place, which is free of cost. Why
Absolutely.
not enroll in that? Might as well go out and enroll in that.
Correct.
Second thing is having a health insurance policy, which is a base policy, basically, with
And
lower deductibles,
yeah.
no deductibles rather, and no sublimits or no co-payments. So have a, let's say, 5 to 10 lakh rupee coverage of
The
base
base sum assured.
policy,
Yes.
which will cost you, let's say, at the age of 45, would cost you about 30 to
Absolutely.
35,000 rupees. That is one way to cover yourself. However, this does not meet the inflation or the pricing of, let's say, cardiovascular diseases or cancer treatments. However, there are chances of being diagnosed with those diseases in near future. So you can always have a super top of
Top up.
policy on
Yes.
top of your base policy.
So how does this top up work?
Yes. So
Yeah.
talking about a super top of policy, you have to choose a deductible, and this deductible can be equivalent to your base policy, right? So with a deductible, the premiums go down, but you can have a higher coverage.
So 80%.
So for example, I can have a 50 lakh ka super top up policy with a 10 lakh ka deductible. My premium would be not as high as a 30 lakh base policy or a 50 lakh
Absolutely.
base policy, right? So here you again manage your premiums. So
Yeah.
the outgoing of the premium is lower, but the coverage is high. So you had a 10 lakh ka base policy, you have a 50 lakh ka super top up. And then, of course, there are a lot of critical illness policies,
Correct.
which cover your major illnesses like cancer, cardiovascular diseases, kidney failure,
Absolutely.
liver transplant. So all these diseases come under critical illness category. You can buy a additional critical illness policy, which is basically a benefit policy.
Okay.
So what does a benefit policy means? Benefit policy is basically when you're diagnosed with that particular illness, which is a critical illness, you get a lump sum payment on the diagnosis of that illness.
Yes.
Of course, there are certain criteria that you need to meet, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about that in detail in some other podcast or some
Brilliant.
other day, right? So you can have these kind of layered coverages wherein the outgo of the premium from your pocket is lower, but the coverages for a unique or high out of pocket expenses diseases are covered.
Correct. And the top up, while we are advise and an agent doesn't tell you top up,
Yeah.
and advisor gives you a
Of course,
yeah.
see, there's a buffet of policy that you have, right? Pick and choose the item that you like. That is the best advantage of, or that's the difference between a la carte and a bouquet,
Absolutely,
a
that
buffet,
is-
right?
yes.
That you go and choose what you want to eat, and that is what even the insurance
Yeah,
companies have created for you. So let's say I have diabetes and I want an major coverage around diabetes. I can go ahead with and choose a diabetes policy. So there are a lot of policies that cover your pre-existing diseases with
Yes.
premium
Cancer is
rates.
arising.
Absolutely. So you
Even
can,
even at buying a policy, someone have to plan for future premium payment also,
yeah,
and increasing premium, it is also one of the parameters जो सबको देखना चाहिए. So as a life goal advisor, we are suggesting people कि if you buy a health insurance policy, simultaneously buy one more SIP also. So that SIP grow by 12-15%, premium increase by 12-15%. So you can manage future premium.
yes.
So that is a additional management for the health policy.
This is when the advisors come into
Yeah, so
picture.
then advisors. And one other thing you have to you have a vision कि कंपनी राइट अंडरराइटिंग कर रही है, क्लेम में स्ट्रिक्ट हैं, मेडिकल कराती हैं, सो वो आपको फ्यूचर में जो बेनिफिट देगी वो अभी जो कोई बोलता है यहाँ तो हमारा क्लेम हो जाता है में क्या होता है, वो फ्यूचर प्रीमियम इंक्रीज का रेशियो भी उसका इतना ही बड़ा होता है.
Correct.
क्योंकि एनी मेडिक्लेम पॉलिसी के जो प्रीमियम है वो क्लेम रेशियो पे बेस है.
Absolutely.
राइट. सो हायर क्लेम रेशियो किसी का हो रहा है और उसका अंडरराइटिंग प्रॉपर नहीं है, सो वो किसी भी लाइव उसको ले रहे हैं, एक्सेप्शन में ले रहे हैं, वो ले रहे हैं, तो फ्यूचर में क्लेम, बहुत कंपनी में ऐसे एग्जांपल आजकल हुए हैं जो आज वो दे आर सफरिंग फॉर बिग लॉसेस, प्रीमियम इतना इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं कि वो आप अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते.
Absolutely.
सो आपको लाइफ इंश्योरर सिलेक्ट करते टाइम पे भी उसका एथिकल वैल्यू को भी देखना चाहिए. मे बी यू गेट सम मोर प्रोसेस और थोड़ा आपको डिले मिलेगा या जो भी होगा, दैट्स फाइन, बट सिलेक्टिंग एजेंट एंड सिलेक्टिंग कंपनी both are equivalent importance in the buying the health insurance, right?
Yeah.
So what are the
So
while
it's like पहले स्क्रूटनी करा लो या बाद में करा लो, स्क्रूटनी जरूर होगी.
so you have rich experience in claim management in the company and also being you're part of the health insurance company. What are the five or common mistakes while taking a policy which will affect settling the claim? Have you observed anything that if that was taken care or that was ticked or if that was disclosed, so the claim would have processed or the claim would have come? What are the common mistakes that people miss? Because at that time of claim not getting settled, they will curse an agent, they will
Yeah.
curse a hospital, they'll
Yeah.
curse an insurance company,
Yeah.
they go to ombudsman, they change law, they suffer a lot. So initial में what is that there? One is a disclosure, you said.
Of course, that's
That's
there.
there. But what are the other points which while an individual is taking a policy as an experienced health insurance expert, what is that they should ask an agent or an advisor? ये टिक किया, ये टिक किया, ये टिक किया, I should not get any problem while settling the claim.
Right.
So what are the things?
So of course, see, early claims is a major reason of rejections that we see at our at Bima Garage, right? When we process a lot of claims. So when I say early claims, I'm not saying all early claims
Yeah.
would lead to rejection, but they do lead to investigations. So
Correct.
if you bought a policy and there is an immediate claim,
Correct.
right? Then there is a reason for the insurance company to inquire that why this claim has triggered so early. That's one. Second, it becomes little difficult to digest for the insurance company the non-justified reasons of hospitalization, wherein hospitalization was not required for a fever or stuff like that, and however the doctor asked you to get hospitalized.
And you to get the claim, they'll say admit me.
Yes.
Yeah, admit me
Yeah,
for 24
because if
hours.
you do
yeah.
little bit of diagnosis here
Yeah.
and there, that will not be payable. So only 24 hours of hospitalization is met, right? So meeting that requirement is also another reason why, which is hospitalization not
Correct.
justified, right? So insurance company does hold a right to investigate and ask and reject basis that. That's another reason. Non-disclosure is the biggest
Absolutely.
reason. We've spoken enough about that. Yeah, these are three primary reasons why.
One more reason in that,
Ji.
the understanding of the policy,
Correct.
both the party,
Yeah.
advisor and the client. So the KYP play role there.
Yes.
So know your
So
policy.
when I buy the policy, right, I know the terms conditions, right, in a simple language.
Yeah.
So that's more important. Because there is a misunderstanding between the understanding of the policy conditions that create chaos,
Yeah.
right? So in a KYP, generating
policy.
KYP, that will help
Yes.
to understand, right?
Correct.
So wrong claim वो put up ही नहीं करेगा.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that is also one way to restrict the dissatisfaction.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. And what is the role of hospitals or while submitting a claim, you will find some silly mistakes which will lead to a delay in claim processing. Or hospital role is that that while you are dealing with a claim, you are, once you get hospitalized, a patient gets a reported to health insurance company. They don't
Right.
report a health insurance company, they go to the claims department in hospital.
Right.
They will write the case. Now,
Report
I've
it.
seen recently one of the case is that 70-year-old woman, it has been written that she has a spondylitis, which was never there. The doctor has miswritten it. So these are the things which can happen. So what are the things which, from a hospital point of view, you will say that
Perfect. So, Niranjan, this was the reason why Bima Garage was born.
yes, yes,
Right. So, talking about insurance company as a manufacturer, because
correct.
they design the policy and they sell the product through their various distribution channel. However, the service provider here is the hospital. मतलब ये एक ऐसी यूनिक इंडस्ट्री, आप देखो मैन्युफैक्चरर अलग है और सर्विस प्रोवाइडर अलग है. यूजुअली ऐसा होता नहीं है.
होता नहीं.
And because the service provider is different, we be the bridge between the insurance company and the hospital. This is where we play a major role. अगर आपको मैं ऐसे सिंपल वर्ड्स में बोलूँ तो क्या इंश्योरेंस कंपनी ने कभी हॉस्पिटल के डेस्क पे बैठ के उनको बताया कैसा डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना है, क्या भेजना है? तो कभी भी नहीं
नहीं.
हुआ ये, राइट? सो द हॉस्पिटल इज अनअवेयर अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट. दे आर लर्निंग ऑन देयर ओन.
Correct.
इट इज देयर ओन जर्नी, राइट? दिस इज
Yes.
वेयर वी एट बीमा गराज have built a system in a manner like we've spoken about KYP. So we first make the hospital understand what is payable in the policy, what is not payable in the
Okay.
policy, right? Then there is a hospital SOC that has been signed with the insurance company. So hospital agrees with certain rates that for particular disease I would charge this amount to your customer. However, at the time of billing they forget that SOC. So we at our platform what we do is we try that hospital is maintaining or living up to the terms and conditions that he's signed with the insurance company, right? So I am the perfect bridge because I am making sure that insurance company gets the right document,
Yeah.
right bills, no inflated bills, right? So this is where
So you facilitate well between.
I strike the balance
yes.
between the hospital and the
So it
insurance
is
company.
there are three outcomes of Bima Coverage. Is one is that hospital is aware of what documents to be collected.
Right.
Hospital cash flow is managed very well.
Absolutely.
So generally the insurance companies pays in 60 days, 90 days. You will bring it down to 45 days.
So
60.
there's no magical wound to it. I
Yeah.
tell you, the proper documentation helps. Insurance companies approving claims basis the documentation, and they're doing the remittance or settlement basis the documentation. If I've sent complete set of document and I've sent it on time, then why would they not pay claim?
Absolutely.
They are there in the business of paying claims only, right? I'll tell you one, very crazy anecdote. We picked up a chain of hospitals and we got associated with them. And when we took over, they had about 40 lakhs ka file in their drawers
Oh.
pending to send to the insurance company. How would they get the claim money?
Absolutely.
And they wouldn't get any settlement. So this is where because we put up a system at the hospital, the flow, the cash flow, or the the entire process works out bit smoothly for
So
the
larger corporate hospitals may survive on this, keeping this 40 lakhs file in the drawer.
Yeah,
but
but what
100
about
bed,
it?
100 bedded and
Absolutely,
200 bedded,
yes.
I think you guys are doing great service in terms of managing
In
their
one,
cash flows
one,
better.
one more thing help Bima Garage to the customer. So after hospitalization, when you discharge, so there is a discharge summary. So they upload discharge summary on the HobNob app,
Yeah.
right? अब इन रिटायर लाइफ अगर मेरा मेडिक्लेम हॉबनॉब पे है, मैंने कहीं एक ट्रीटमेंट करा है, मेरा डिस्चार्ज समरी मेरे मोबाइल में है, राइट? मैं कहीं ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ और मुझे एडमिट होना होगा, तो मेरा KYP एंड मेरा डिस्चार्ज समरी इन माई मोबाइल.
Enough. Yeah.
क्योंकि विदाउट डिस्चार्ज समरी कोई नया डॉक्टर आपको ट्रीट नहीं करेगा.
Absolutely.
So in a retirement span, peace of mind, adequate mediclaim,
Right
and
policy.
the claim process smoothly and happening, right? So उसको वरी नहीं रहना चाहिए.
Correct.
एंड दी पोस्ट मेडिक्लेम जो सर्विसेज हैं कि आपका ये जो डिस्चार्ज समरी है या पोस्ट हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन जो एक्सपेंसेस है, एवरीथिंग इज टेकन बाय द बीमा गैरेज, राइट?
Yeah.
सो इन माय पॉडकास्ट 360 डिग्री रिटायरमेंट हैप्पीनेस, उसमें द पार्ट ऑफ द मेडिक्लेम एंड द हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन, उसके जितने भी इश्यूज हैं,
Correct.
that we want to aware in the awareness
Address. So
program. Yes.
Nice.
one thing came out very clear in this conversation is that first year, know your policy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Disclose everything while you're
Yes.
taking a health insurance policy.
Absolutely.
Third, buy from a right advisor, which is very important. What to submit in a hospital and what hospital need to submit to the insurance
Yes.
company, which
Yes.
Bima Garage is bridging that gap. You have a HobNob app, which is there in the below link. Again, download it and upload your policy document. You will know your policy better, and you pay little, and they will service you in claims in a retail and also in the hospitals. So, one of the reasons why it has become a very important product and the penetration is very low in India. We will talk about government doing a lot of things in health insurance aspect. What are the product innovations, and is it looked at as a product? Because when I meet a lot of HNIs, they say that health insurance, they know the importance of health insurance better than a person who's needed. So they are their it's because of the education or awareness or a right advice. All HNIs have a good coverage and they buy their health insurance because which for them it is a the contribution of their income is not even 0.1% or 0.2%
Right.
premium
Although,
paying. How does a company
so
benefit of?
company can become a payee, right, and pay from the companies all employee and directors health insurance, right.
Yeah.
Company can claim as a business expense in the section 37, right.
Correct.
So that's the best way to take care of the employees health care,
And also
right.
attain a tax benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one point missing in the industry last so many years, right. Recently we found the gap and we tried to approach the companies. You can take a health insurance on a company's account and take a section 37, right. So
37.
that is one of the area.
So there's a 100 employee organization which pays well, which has some 7 8 directors. They can pay the health insurance to all the contribution of employees and directors. So whatever they pay under section 37 will become an expense and it will be
Expenses.
covered under.
Yeah.
So they
So
get a good.
it's help to retain client
Absolutely.
also,
Mm.
retain employee also, right.
Yes,
It
yes. So
does.
So that's a good win-win situation for both.
and health insurance, paying
Yeah.
health insurance for your employees is one of the best
Yeah.
retention policies.
Even one thing is missing in the country. The average health insurance is 1 lakh, 2 lakh, right?
Mm.
Yeah, correct.
Because the PSU sells lot of health insurance last 17 years, right? Private come later. Private is facing the claim ratio, expense high, so is premium also the impacted, right? So average health insurance is below cover right now, right? So one concept is that ki, uh, buy a high sum assured.
Okay.
So high sum assured not cost like that, right? Suppose you buy 10 lakhs and you buy 50 lakhs sum assured, right? In a health cover. So premium difference itna nahi hai.
Correct. It is not.
So it is advisable to buy higher
Yes,
sum
I am
assured,
sure.
right?
Yes.
And the select the policy जिसमें ई फॉर बर्ड्स कम है,
Correct.
राइट.
Yeah.
सो दी को पे वो उसके जो कंडीशन है वो वेरी क्लियर है, राइट. वो रिस्टोरेशन जो जो उसके वर्ड्स है वो सारी चीजें बहुत क्लियर है, राइट. सो और हाई सम एश्योर वाले में ऐसा नहीं होता.
Correct.
द स्मॉल सम एश्योर प्लस टॉपअप में वो काफी सारे कंडीशंस लग जाते हैं. But you buy 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore sum assured, and nowadays it's very good. 3 year advance premium with
After 5
discount
years
is
also
also
they've come up
available.
with, yes.
Even the 5 years also
Yeah, they've
advisable
come.
कि होना चाहिए, right?
Correct, correct.
So इससे क्या होगा कि वो पेडिकल का प्रीमियम भूल गया है या लेट हो गया है, इन बिटवीन जो केसेस बनते हैं वो भी अवॉइड किए जा सकते हैं, right?
Yeah. So the Jayaji, one more question which comes into my mind is that I have a health insurance policy 7 years back. I took it from X company and Y company. Now 7 years back there was no product innovation. You bought a basic policy, whatever policy designed at that time, it has been bought to us. Now there's a lot of innovation in health insurance. You have a diabetes and BP. There is a company which covers from day one or a day after 30 days. So that's a kind of innovation they got. They're working on some products like cancer care.
Right.
So there are a lot of innovation. Now a portability of that policy is a good choice or take a new policy.
See, so here, there is no straight answer to this. because if you are buying a disease specific policy, then it is always advisable to buy a additional policy and
Okay.
let the ongoing policy be there,
Continue.
right?
Yes.
Let that continue, because then that pays everything that is already been covered during the waiting periods, if it is a disease specific. But then you also said that there is a lot of innovation that is happening.
Yeah.
So if I have a PSU basic policy, and now I think that this Y company has a restoration benefit or multiplier benefit of bonus,
Absolutely.
then it's advised to port the policy, right?
Yeah.
If it is not a disease specific policy, then you can always switch to an innovative
Yeah.
product. But like I mentioned earlier, there's a small advice that you renew it or port it 45 days before the renewal, so that
So you carry the benefits of the old policy.
Absolutely,
Yes.
right? Because then the new company also has enough time to do the underwriting, come back with the revert to you that theek hai, we will cover everything, so you can take a wise decision well in time.
Yeah,
So-
and the one more point, you, because you deal with hospitals, deal with insurance companies, you deal with retail customers,
Yeah.
you have to upgrade every time to what's happening in the industry. So what are the changes you see in health insurance, health industry, or or surgeries or whatever it is in the next 15 20 years? There will be a lot of medical advancements, you meet a lot of doctors. So our डॉक्टर्स विल एंश्योर दैट ये जिंदा रहेगा 100 years तक, और डॉक्टर्स का, आई मीन लाइक if we live too long also, no, there's a problem. Now there are two things. One is that I have to have that kind of a money to survive for retirement, because मेरे को चाहिए, and I have to stay healthy, or I have to have a better health insurance policy that I get I don't, it doesn't affect my corpus. So how are you seeing these
So
medical?
mind-boggling innovation when it comes to medical science, right? So a lot of robotic, new
Absolutely.
kind of treatments coming into picture, which will of course make sure that you live for long
Yes.
years.
Yes.
Having said that, wellness is the most important thing. Prevention is better
Better
than
than a
cure
cure,
always.
yes, yes.
Cure is there, of course. Life expectancy बढ़ रही है और बढ़ेगी. मैंने शुरू में ये बात बोली थी कि अगर आपको अपनी वेल्थ को प्रोटेक्ट करना है तो हेल्थ
Health को-
इंश्योरेंस जरूरी, तो हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस भी जरूरी है. आपको अच्छे से, मतलब यू हैव टू लिव ऑन अ हेल्दी डाइट एंड एक्सरसाइज, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली सी, हैविंग
तो
सेड
आप मेरे को नहीं बोल रहे ना?
व्हाई नॉट, बट
Yeah.
ठीक है, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस है अपनी जगह पे, आपके जेब से पैसे नहीं जाएंगे, लेकिन ट्रीटमेंट तो आप पे ही हो रहा है. माइट एज वेल
Absolutely.
लिव वाइजली.
Yeah.
व्हाई टू फॉल प्रे टू जंक फूड? एक्सरसाइज करो, अच्छे से रहो. प्रिवेंशन इज ऑलवेज बेटर देन क्योर.
आपका मेडिक्लेम एडुकेट होना चाहिए,
हाँ, वही बोल रहा हूँ मैं.
क्योंकि बिकॉज क्या होगा कि समथिंग हॉस्पिटलाइज एक्सपेंस आ गया, अब आपको लगेगा कि ये 4 लाख रुपए का है मेरा
वो
बिल है।
रोबोट आके फिक्स करे तो पैसे
लेकिन वो-
ज्यादा ही लेगा ना सर.
एब्सोल्युटली.
नहीं नहीं, वो जो 4-5 लाख रुपए का बिल है ना, वो 5 लाख नहीं देखना है,
नहीं
क्योंकि
है।
5 लाख आपके रिटायरमेंट कॉर्पस से जा रहे हैं.
Correct.
वो अगले 10 साल अगर रुक गए तो आपका कॉर्पस कितना कम हो जाएगा. सो ये इट विल इफेक्ट फाइनेंशियली ऑन
Absolutely.
द पार्ट ऑफ द रिटायरमेंट कॉर्पस, राइट.
So while you choose, you want to when there is availability in the market, somebody says that I have a problem, knee problem, and people will say, अरे robotic कर लो, immediate इसी दिन चले जाएगा.
नहीं नहीं, वो एक इंजेक्शन ले लो, अभी 6 महीने बाद करो, यू कैन वर्ल्ड अराउंड जाके आओ एंड उसके बाद करो. सो वो एडवांस मेडिसिन में तो
Yes,
कोई
there's no
इश्यू नहीं
looking
है.
back.
But it is at cost,
आई
right?
थिंक
It is at
वर्ल्ड वाइड वी आर बेस्ट.
Yeah.
इंडिया में जो फैसिलिटीज है बेस्ट है एंड चिपेस्ट भी है.
So that was
15-16 हजार डॉलर प्रीमियम है साल का मेडिक्लेम का यूएस में.
I-
14-15 हजार रुपया,
Go to a dentist also, it
एवरी ईयर. एंड द
dental
कॉस्ट
doctor, yeah.
एंड उसकी इतना पेमेंट करने के बाद भी गेट ए मेडिकल
Appointment.
अपॉइंटमेंट, इट्स
You don't.
3 महीना बोलेगा तो 3 महीने तक मैं पेन में रहूंगा. मैं तुम्हारे इतना एडवांस कंट्री में हूँ, क्या फायदा.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what we were discussing.
यहाँ
the
14,000
medical-
डॉलर डॉक्टर घर पे आके नहीं करके चला जाएगा.
So that's what you were saying, the medical tourism into
Is
people
booming.
traveling to India.
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
it
It's
is,
going high.
So we are best.
we are the
in
best.
the world. Yes.
India is the best. Okay. So you were
So
telling
having said that, एक और बात जो, बिकॉज गिरीश भाई ने एम्फेसाइज किया कि हमारी इंटेंशन क्या है. सो द आइडिया वाज आल्सो कि अगर हम सर्विस इम्प्रूव कर देंगे. जब हम सेल्स कर रहे थे वहाँ पर, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस बेच रहे थे व्हेन वी वेर एट अपोलो, राइट. सो द प्रॉब्लम वाज कि क्लेम मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, मतलब सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम तो वही है. वही एड्रेस करके हम ये चाहते हैं कि हम जब हम B2B करते हैं, अल्टीमेटली हम C को इसलिए टच करते हैं
Correct.
ताकि उसका ट्रस्ट बने कि उसे क्लेम मिलेगा, ताकि वो देयर इज अ माउथ ऑफ वर्ड दैट्स गोना स्प्रेड कि हाँ क्लेम मिलता है, आप लो हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. दैट्स अ बिलीव दैट वी वांट टू इंस्टिल.
Why we have chosen Jayaji as a product, as a retirement series में, what is the role of health insurance? Health insurance comes as a first product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Health insurance comes as a first product because there is a
So before term.
yeah before
term you must attend
the
the
हाँ,
health
जब जिंदा हो तब यूज करने मिलेगा.
so there are three reasons to it. One is inflation.
Yeah.
The medical costs are going up. The advancement of medicals.
And you can't guarantee when you can fall
Yeah,
ill,
absolutely.
right?
And also you
and your retirement corpus also protected.
protected.
Yes,
So
your
I
wealth
think
is protected.
I think what people need to look at it is, one is that go for a higher sum assured. And say, because of these the surgeries or medical advancement which is happening, the go for a higher sum assured. Look at, take out your policy, go back after seeing this podcast and listening to her and listening to him, go to your birwa or locker, take out your health insurance policy, read it. If you can't read it, download the app and
Yes,
upload
and
your
upload your policy
document.
and we'll give
You will
KYP.
one pager KYP.
So why health insurance, Ranjan? Having would like to mention that you can upload all your policies
Yeah.
and use this application as a repository of your insurance documents, because they get lost.
Absolutely.
दिवाली की सफाई में हम generally paper फेंक
I
देते हैं
know.
इधर उधर, right? So you
I'm
can,
sure there some of the life insurance policies cover also wouldn't have been teared.
yeah. तो वो आप हमारे ऐप पे repository.
So to sum it up, Jayaji, is that how do you see you as an individual? How important is retirement as a product, and pension as a thing that Indians should look at, and what is your view, and how do you see the product portfolio in the retirement product portfolio, health insurance as a product?
The most important product, rather. Why only retirement? At any age you need health insurance, yeah, right? You don't need a age for health insurance. It's a product that is required for all ages, and of course for your retirement corpus and wealth to be saved. मतलब जिंदगी भर पैसा कमाया इसलिए तो नहीं कमाया कि रिटायरमेंट में जाकर हॉस्पिटल पे खर्च करें. आप अपने मजे करो अपने पैसे से, जो भी आपने बनाया है कमाया है
Very
आप
true.
उसको हॉस्पिटल में क्यों यूज करना चाहते हो? दैट इज व्हाट आई वुड से. एंड आई एज एन इंडिविजुअल आई वुड रादर से वी एज अ टीम बिलीव
Yeah. Correct.
कि हम हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस को इतना स्ट्रीमलाइन स्मूथ करें कि कोई डरे ना कि मेरे जेब से पैसा जाएगा. So there are a lot of other things also we're doing around claims management, that helping a customer or a patient out of pocket expenses कैसे उसके finance कराए जाएं. So we do all these activities as well for his or her peace of mind. Right? So this is where I would say that health insurance is the important thing and the first thing that you should have in your portfolio. है ना गिरीश भाई?
Yes, yes.
And for I forgot to mention this, and for anybody who has suffered a rejection of an health insurance claim, you can always approach
Reach,
us.
yes.
We'll see if the claim is approved, I mean can be payable. We'll work on that and we'll help
there is
you
a
get
legal
the
advisory
necessary-
also.
Yes,
Yes.
we
So
do
so
have
the audience who is looking at Bima Garage is a company. You can see the below link. There's you can go to HobNob. You can download it in Play Store. I'm also sharing
So
the
in
contact
HobNob
name.
itself, there's an
Yeah,
option
yes.
where the customer can say that okay, my claim was rejected. Select that and upload the
So we will no, at the cost of audience, I will record a demonstration on how to use the app, and also what are the services used by Bima Garage, and we will put it across at the end of the podcast, which will be helpful to hospitals, which will be helpful to customer, and a happy life. So that's what it is required. We'll keep improvising it. Thank you, Girish bhai. Thank you, Jaya ji.
Thank
It was
you.
pleasure
Thank you.
talking to both of you.
Yeah, thank you, Jaya.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you,
thanks.
Girish
Yeah.
bhai. Thanks.